Hello and welcome to the daily Assassin's Creed news. So
Yay.
they had this silly Assassin's Creed Unity game they announced like earlier this year, which is silly because French Revolution and who cares. But they like 2 weeks ago or something they announced Assassin's Creed Rogue, which is a lot more interesting because it's more interesting. For instance, it's set between Assassin's Creed 4 and 3, so it has like stuff which we kind of know of, like characters and everything. And there's an eagle. They have sea. They have boats again. Like I like the boats in Assassin's Creed 4. Like those were fun, and those were fun. Like there's a whale there. That's pretty interesting. I love whales. Don't you guys love whales?
I
They're
love
pretty
water
neat.
and whales and all the sea creatures. I
I
don't
like the snow and the
discriminate.
ice here too.
Also, and most importantly, I
I
Here it
knew it.
comes.
It was bullshit.
It's Sectus's boyfriend. I knew it.
I did kind of tell Akamet and Ryman I wouldn't talk about Hatham at all during this, but I mean, come on, it's Hatham.
The
Look
first
at
thing you do
Yeah,
is
he's right
freeze
there.
frame.
it's Hatham. Like
I
what's Hatham
support
in the game?
this.
Like this is the best game of all time. Like people who watched my Game of the Year video from last year, they know like Hatham was like like Game of the Year for several years. So that's pretty impressive. So that
Oh.
he's in a new game again, like this will become the Game of the Year for at least 3 years straight now.
Can I just say for a quick second, I was really impressed with your podcast tool because I thought you were like moving the camera 3D while it was still paused. Like I thought you were doing that.
Live demo, folks. So, yes, it has Hatham, so it's automatically very good, and it basically is kind of just Assassin's Creed 4.5, which is both good and bad because Assassin's Creed 4 was actually a pretty fun, good game, but probably just going to be more of the same. But with Hatham, so it's really good.
uh, we should point out that this is what are the two called again? Unity is the other one, and this is
Rogue.
Rogue. Okay, so Rogue is announced so far for PS3 and 360, and Unity is for PS4 and Xbox One.
And PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the sad thing about Rogue. It's only for last gen consoles. It is like just port it to PC, and I'll buy it on PC. Just please, come on, Ubisoft. I'm willing to throw money at your face. So please, just release it for PC.
But if this footage right here is from 360 and PS3, like, that's really impressive. Like the water looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, and like looking at these button prompts, I assume this is 360.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, even Assassin's Creed 4 looked like it, like that looked surprisingly well on 360 and PS3. But I still want PC for pixels and good frame rate.
Of
Me
course.
too, even if it means having to put up with you playing.
But like Hatham is a really good feature, but there are other things about this game which are actually very interesting. Like instead of the other games where you play as a silly assassin dude, in this game you play as a cool Templar dude, and your objective is to kill assassins. So they've like done some pretty interesting things based on that concept. Like for instance, while you're in cities, you might have to watch out for assassins who are hunting you, and like in multiplayer, if there is an assassin closer, you will hear like spooky little whispers, and they might like suddenly like pounce you from a rooftop or something. And yeah, like just those mechanics actually sound like a pretty good like change mix up
Yeah, it's different.
to the formula.
I think like that's one of the big reasons. I own I think all the Assassin's Creed games still, like all the main ones, but I've only played one, two, and half of Brotherhood, and I can't force myself to get through any of the others, but I really want to play this and Black Flag because they're different,
Yeah,
and especially this one.
I think those are definitely the best ones in a long while. Like they have honestly been releasing way too many of these games, and I almost feel bad for being part of the problem and having played almost all of them.
Yeah.
But there's a few which I felt rather unnecessary, like revelations like that, maybe a little bit unnecessary, like especially since they didn't. Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, there were good parts of that. Like the story wasn't that bad, but it felt a bit too much like Brotherhood, but just more. And then 3 had its highlight, but it's really buggy. So I should just skip ahead a little bit here in this gameplay footage. So a lot of this stuff is kind of just identical to Assassin's Creed 4, but I do like this ice environment. It looks
Yeah.
nice.
There weren't those in 4.
No,
Okay.
And I can skip even further ahead here. Like this looks rather pretty. Sea
Oh yeah.
stuffs very pretty.
Actually, I do have a
Hmm?
question.
What?
Do we know which team is making this?
Ubisoft Sofia. I think they made Assassin's Creed Liberation.
Oh. I think you played Liberation, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you think of Liberation?
Um, I like that it was short.
Hmm.
I think it was just the right length because if it was longer, I would have gotten tired of it. But yeah, I mean, it was both very samey and also a bit different. I don't know. I mean, I do, I do really like the character they designed for that game, but I think Liberation is probably very skippable.
For people that don't know much about that, that was originally for PSP, right? And then it got a port for
Well,
It
Ida.
Yeah, it was for the Vita.
Vita. Sorry, I get those confused. But then it got ported to PC, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Souls.
Like
Okay.
those animals are pretty cute. Like
Penguin! Oh, I think you
Okay,
dove
yeah,
into
this
solid snow.
officially this Assassin's Creed has penguins in it, so it's officially the best one now, just by default, just because it has
Yeah.
penguins in it.
Yes.
I like snow and ice in video games a lot more than real life usually.
Actually, right, Sectors, I've
Yeah.
got an image for you. Hatham in a penguin suit.
That might be in this game. So I'll try to skip ahead until something more interesting happens here. Okay,
Oh,
so
those pretty lights.
so this is the next trail upcoming here, I think.
Oh.
So yeah, I guess this is also the release date.
And of course, it wouldn't be a Assassin's Creed game or any Ubisoft game without pre-ordered nonsense.
Yeah. And they mentioned Rogue here, but I mean Unity here, but who cares about Unity? Boring.
Rogue is November 11th and Unity is October sometime.
Yeah, Rogue is actually after Unity, which is odd in some way, but I don't know.
Hmm.
So here's a bunch of naval combat again. I'll just skip ahead. So in this segment, that they show off a little bit of mechanics with like enemy assassins, because there's one assassin dude here. So I'm not sure when it happens. Yeah, I think they're like in the bushes there. That's an assassin dude. So he could hear whispers, and then he turned on Templar vision, which is totally not like Eagle vision, to see the assassin dude and then assassinate him before the assassin dude did stuffs.
Hmm.
And there's one interesting bit here.
Sectors.
What?
It says click to watch the not to enable gameplay walk. That doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My podcast tool has not turned into YouTube yet.
The
And-
color in this setting is way more vibrant, by the way.
Gas mask.
Yeah, and it's kind of insane, like how much like technological stuff they got in here, like gas masks and rifles of different kinds and everything. So, trying to find one specific scene here. Yeah, I think this is the point where he's being hunted by an assassin's dude, and there we go. Suddenly pounced, and he loses a ton of health. That is so cool! And then he runs away, smoke bomb, and then he sends dudes after you. It's like playing Assassin's Creed but reverse. He shot you. Oh my god, that's so cool. So I'm hoping
Wait, is-
like this happens a lot in the game, because I think this looks just very different and unique. Like I like enemies which are like more like varied with what they can do against you. That looks kind of fun, I think.
This is in-game, like single player, right? This isn't multiplayer footage.
This is all single player. I don't think this game will have any kind of multiplayer.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think they did actually announce that this game would be single player only.
That's good.
So I think that's a little bit surprising, because since Brotherhood, they've always had like competitive multiplayer in every single Assassin's Creed game. But even though they have two Assassin's Creed games this year, like neither will have that kind of multiplayer. I find that to be a bit surprising. But at the very least, like Assassin's Creed 4, like that had definitely the best version of that multiplayer. So if people want that, they could just play more of that, really.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can also show off some screenshots here. Although
Oh.
this is the typical like Ubisoft style screenshot. They're all really bull shots, but they still look really nice.
Wait, Sectus, zoom in on the very tip at the front of the ship. Just a little bit. Just a little
Like
bit.
this one.
No, up a bit. Yeah, there. There we go. Perfect.
Okay. So yeah, this
Yeah,
this
your
is
turn.
this is what they should do for the very next Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed 5. They should have Haytham as main character with Barry as a sidekick. That'd be pretty good.
Chris is the captain of this ship.
He's so majestic. Ah!
And again we have
Wait.
dollar
Oh!
Here's penguins.
That is pretty.
Yeah. Much fighting, yes.
Swords.
Much stabbings, yes.
Rain, there's rain. I love rain.
I hope the rain effects are as good as in Assassin's Creed 4 because they were insanely good there.
Maybe they're even better. That'd be cool.
Boats.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the water is beautiful. Look at all the blue.
Yeah. Although I mean this is kind of a bullshit, so I don't know how well they touched it up, but although I mean based on Assassin's Creed 4, like this could easily be accurate.
But this just makes me want them to do PC with this.
Yeah, they should just port this to PC. Although I would not be surprised if they do because they did that with Liberation, but maybe we'll have to wait a little bit for them to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harpoon.
Ship with stuff.
Thought that
The
said pickle
morgue.
gun.
That is a mighty ramp.
More ship stops. More stabbity stops.
Yep.
More choppy stuffs.
Boing.
Pew pew stuffs.
Like there seems to be 3 drastically different environments so far, like in these previews. Like the ocean, Arctic Ocean, the vibrant wood area, and then like the city town kind of place.
Yeah, I think they also even mentioned in a press release that they have like 3 distinct big environments for you to explore in this game, and it's probably the 3 you just mentioned.
Sectus.
Yeah.
What do we know about the player character?
He's called Shay, and as I mentioned earlier, he's a Templar who just hunts assassins, and I don't think there's much else known about him really. And
I hope you can play as an eagle.
just want to point out that there's him. That's Haytham. That's Haytham.
Oh.
And that's Haytham again. He's in both videos. If it turns out that
Wait.
Haytham is just a dude who's on your ship for most of the game, I am okay with that. I am okay with that.
Wait, Sectus, I need you to rewind it back to that bit where it pans around him, just so I get a good shot from the side.
Should I pause?
Yes. Back a little more, just a few more frames. Okay. And there.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Barry is one of Haytham's shoulder angels.
No.
I can't remember that story bit in Assassin's Creed 3. Yeah,
I'd buy
I
this.
would be okay with Wesker being in the game as well. Should be voiced by PC developers, of course. Hello. But yeah, I don't think there's much else to say really. And I'm a little bit curious about other people. Like, are there other people in the world who are excited about this at all? Because I have been hearing a lot of people on the internet just complaining a lot about this game because this is basically Assassin's Creed 4.5, and like they are correct,
Ugh.
but I personally don't really mind, and I really like the original unique stuff they're doing with this game, like the assassin stuff, and hate them.
If they're long-time fans of the series, that's such a silly thing to complain about because every game so far has been the same thing over and over again. And now they finally did something different with 4, and now they're doing it again differently.
Yeah,
Like,
that
I
is
don't think
that is
there's a
true.
problem with that.
That is a fair point, and like, if and even though they are doing some new stuff with Assassin's Creed Unity, I would say that that will probably end up being a much more familiar experience overall if you compare the entire series.
Yeah, it's like 4 is its own spin-off of the main idea of the
Yeah,
series.
because
And
because four has like you do this ship stuff like maybe half of the game, and that's very different from any other Assassin's Creed game.
yeah, it seemed like that was a pretty heavy theme. And that's cool. It's different. You
Yeah,
don't get the chance to do that in the other Assassin's Creed games. So also it's nice that I mean as weird as it is that they're still doing it on 360 and PS3. I mean it gives people another Assassin's Creed game to play on that generation without having to get the next generation.
yeah. It is a pretty fan servicey thing to do, really. And
So I
I
appreciate it.
and I almost think Capcom could take it. Like I don't want them to go crazy and like start making things annually, but they could just. I mean, I kind of like this kind of setup where they just take a previous game, make something similar in a very small amount of time. Like if they just do that now and then, I think that's completely fine.
Yeah, like a Lost in Nightmare spin-off
Yeah.
continuation.
Yes. Like if they did that, I would be all okay with that.
They could do that on 360. I'd be okay with that too.
Because it just seems like slightly overkill that for each game they basically start from scratch with like assets and everything. Like I don't mind another game which is in between bigger games where they do reuse some of the best stuff from the previous game and add some new content.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Assassin's Creed Rogue, which Ubisoft should release for other platforms.
It's a very pretty idea.
Yes. So bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm not doing that. That's not me, that's Ryman.